Solo vacation. Your spouse or significant other going on vacation without you. You okay with that? That's today's topic on the Mars Mindset. Steph. What up, Steph? How you feeling? You like my glasses? I ain't gonna leave them on the whole time. I just wanted to try something different since it's Friday. I ain't got no job and I ain't got shit to do. So, yeah. Yesterday, Dr. A. Hawk, said something about Mr. Tom going on the cruise with his siblings. And so it made me think, I had that as a topic on my list, which was you laughing at my glasses? Yeah. As my great late grandmother would say, you a cool cat. But I ain't leaving these joints on the whole time. But it is kind of cool seeing the lights. Y'all see the lights? All of the lights. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah. So, would you have a problem if your significant other went on a vacation without you? If you did have a problem, why would you have an issue? Would you have an issue if they went on vacation and it wasn't solo? It just wasn't with you? Who would it be okay for them to go on vacation with? So, that's what I'm thinking about talking today. I don't think I'm going to be on here long today. It's Friday. I'm a little under the weather. So I figure I'll jump on and see what's good. Oh, Nikki in here. I'm about to bring Nikki up. I'm going to see if, I don't know Nikki's husband's name. I think it's John. I'm going to see if John can go on vacation without Nikki.
Yeah, I'm in my car.
Hey, how you like my glasses?
Looking fly. I can see your lighting.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I got my wife's vanity. All of the lights.
Look at you. Fly, Chels.
These my nephew's joints. These my Friday's joint. They were sitting on my kitchen table and I put them on. And Libby was like, Daddy, what are you doing? I said, my grandmother, she would say, you a cool cat. So I had to put the glasses on. It's all good, though.
Cool cat. I know that's
Look,
right.
Somebody try to get me on. Hold on, let's see. Give me 1 second. I think Nikki trying to get in here too. I try to get Nikki. I ain't talk. Nikki don't come on this often, so I gotta make sure I can catch her when I can catch her. Let me see. Nikki, where you at? You might have to edit this joint. I had to edit it. I had to chop it. You know what I'm saying? But it's all good. So, Vicky, I got a question for you.
Sure.
Would you be okay with your significant other going on a solo vacation? Meaning he's going and you can't.
Woo! I don't know, Chels.
You are uninvited.
I'm uninvited.
You cannot go you cannot go with me to Brazil.
To Brazil?
If that's where I want to go.
I'm gonna have to ask the question, like, this is just you. Are you going by yourself?
Yeah. First we'll do that. First, I'm going by myself.
Hey y'all.
What's up, Nikki?
Hey.
How you feeling?
I'm good. I'm well. How are you both?
I feel good.
Good.
So, okay. So, Vicky, yeah, so for the first hypothetical, yeah, I'm going to Brazil. I'm going by myself.
Okay, so as long as you're going by yourself, or you're going with a group of, men or whatever, I think I would be okay with it after a while, but I definitely wouldn't be okay with it up front. I'm be honest. I'll probably have a little problem with it.
Okay.
I'll be in my feelings.
Okay, so let's set the stage there. So, Vicky, I can go to Brazil, but Vicky don't really want me to go. She's going to have an issue with it.
It's not that I don't really want you to go. It's just like, you don't want me to come with you? Like,
no,
okay.
No, you gotta sit this one out. I don't want you to come. No, the answer is no. Okay, so that's Vicky.
Okay.
Vicky's essentially giving me not really. I'm not really feeling that, but if you're gonna go, I guess whatever. Nikki.
I highly recommend vacationing alone for everybody. At least once you should go on something therapeutic, like a trip where you could just reset, I definitely wouldn't have an issue with my husband going on vacation by himself. Anything he does, he wants me to be a part of. He's that guy that's at work that'll be like, I got to do his shift with him. Never mind my hair clients. Never mind people that are sitting. He wants to talk the whole time. So I feel like if I were to have an issue with it, it would be because he just don't want to have me know any facet of it, you know? But because I got the husband I got, I'm like, go, bye. Because I'm going to go.
Oh, so John, that's your husband's name, right, John?
John, yeah.
John, my man. We got to get John on the show.
He would love to come on the show. You might be like, okay, John, bye.
Why I don't never see him. I know he'd be like, you on here every day talking to Chels. Like,
well, you know what? Because he works so much, and then with us renovating his property so we can list it, he been so busy. But he would love to come on. I'm going to ask him because I think he would love to do that.
okay, so quick sidebar. Tell John or ask John when would be a good time for me to go live one day this upcoming week. And I'll make
Okay.
sure I'll try to be on live so I can talk to John.
Okay, I will.
Hold on, somebody else trying to get in here. Who is Frank? Frank, you gonna have to hold on because Frank, tell me something in the chat first. My time is valuable. Okay, so let's talk to Vicky. Because Nikki don't care. John can go to Brazil. Vicky got a problem with it. Vicky, let's look into that. Why do you have an issue with your man going to Brazil without you?
It's okay, so it's kind of different. So like I understand for those who have been married and, you know, for me, freshly in the game, I would have somewhat of a problem with it. But if it's like, you know, we've been together for quite some time, then I can understand because then I'm gonna want some time alone too as well. So I have to be fair with that as well. But initially, like, you know, he's talking about Brazil, like I want to go too. But you know,
okay.
I have to suck it up. I'm gonna be in my feelings. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna be in my feelings just because of, you know, Brazil is nice. You know what I mean? But I'm not gonna be like, you can't go. Da, da, da. I'm not gonna be like that. But you know, it is definitely necessary. But I would be. I'm not gonna be like honestly upfront, be like, oh yeah, sure, babe. No, I'd be like, you know, dang, you didn't think about me. Okay, you want to go by yourself? You know, I'll probably give a little pushback, but if it's like if we've been together for some time, some years, then yeah, I do believe in, you know, going on vacation solo once in a while, just to, you know, miss each other, enjoy, clear your head, that type of thing. But yeah.
Okay, that's cool. So then let me ask y'all this: if y'all could go on a vacation by yourself, no girlfriends, no significant other, by yourself, where would you go to?
I think I would like to do Greece or Switzerland.
Me too. Yep.
Just, you know, some quiet time.
So both of y'all are saying Greece?
Yeah.
What is it about Greece that you
I'm fat, so Greece is like ideal for me to, you know, just really go ham. And I love Italian food, that and Mexican food. Like, listen, if I didn't have all this melanin, I would definitely been Italian for sure.
hold on. So you want to go to Greece to eat?
Period. And see that, and well, I mean, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. So I would want to, of course, just period tour it. But yeah, I mean, that's real food over there, bro. So
Okay, that's cool. One of my good friends, Eleni, went to Greece recently, so you had to catch up with her and find out how good the food is over there. Vicky, I hope you're not getting ready to comment on your figure, but
No.
why is it that you want to go to Greece?
I'm
gosh. No, but see, like,
what do they call them? What do they call them on college? This is a safe space, so you can say whatever you want. I don't care. But
period.
right.
That's why I come on here.
Hey, you know. But why you, Nikki?
That's
Why you
good.
going to Greece?
Well, for me, I'm a foodie, right? I love to eat food all day, every day. I like trying different things. Definitely, I love Italian food, but definitely because of just how beautiful it looks. I know,
Yeah,
like, it'll be quiet. I get some things done, just relax and just enjoy the scenery. Like, I'm an outdoorsy type of person, so the pictures I've seen so far has been beautiful, and it'll just be a place where I can really, like, be me and the Lord, and just enjoy my time, quiet time, and just relaxing and eating.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Okay. So let's give Nikki some pushback then. Since John could do whatever he wants. John comes home. John comes home from work today, and he says, "Hey, darling, I'm going to Greece, and you're uninvited. Are you okay with that?
I'm uninvited.
You
Like
can't.
I was
You can't come.
okay. So wait, was I initially invited? And he
You would
said,
never. You had no idea this man. This man has never mentioned Greece before to you a day in his life. He don't know what Greece looked like on the stove, but he come home Monday morning and he says, "Hey, Nikki, I'm going to Greece and I'm going by myself."
I would be so because of my relationship dynamic. I would be super proud of my husband to say I'm going to Greece by myself.
Is your husband clingy?
He's not clingy. He is. We're really literally best friends, so we do everything together.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like he's not like, babe, I gotta touch you, I gotta be around you, I gotta. He's not that guy, but we do everything together. So if he were to say he was going somewhere by himself, I would be like, and you know what? And you just go by yourself then. I would encourage that. I really would.
Would you worry? Would you worry about him at all while he was gone? Like in terms.
Well, I'm a wife, so I'm a worry. I'm a worry, period. But not in the not in the sense of, oh, who you with type of way, but I would worry about him because it's like like you he wouldn't know Greece if he seen it on the postcard. So I'd be like, you all right? Just from that perspective. But yeah, no, I would be proud of him because he has a squad of male friends, but they are also husbands, and they have also became one with their wives. So like if he were to say I'm going by myself or it's a fellowship trip, I would be like, hey, y'all go ahead.
Hmm. Okay. A Vicky. So you're not really based on your real life. You wouldn't really care for that to happen at this point because you would be kind of new into the relationship.
Right.
So how
So I
bad
wouldn't
would it
really.
be? How bad would it be if he was going to Greece without you? Like, is that better than some other place that he's going to? I mean, is that worse than some other place? Or are you just like, well, when's the flight? I'm booking my own ticket. I'm my own stuff. I'll see you in Santorino
um,
or whatever.
I know. No, honestly, like if he goes to Greece or whatever, at the first instance, yeah, I would be in my feelings just a little bit, but I'll get over it. I wouldn't like hold it, but I would definitely be saving up and planning for myself to go on a solo trip,
Okay.
a vacation. Okay, so, but while he's
Okay.
gone, I'll be enjoying myself, or I may even take a weekend trip, whatever the case may be. But to be honest, up front, I wouldn't be like all peaches and cream, whatever. He may not even notice a little bit. I may be giving a little fluff after he's gone. I might be talking to myself in the mirror, like, how he gonna go without me, But I hope he enjoy himself. Like I have a moment,
I love Vicky.
but I would have a moment, but I will let him have his time. I will think about the things like what is he doing, I will be ready for him to come back so I can ask him all these questions like how was the food, stuff like that. But initially I wouldn't be great. I would be in my feelings a little bit, but I'll get over it. Hey,
Julie
Julie.
King.
Hey, Julie.
How are you?
Julie, you got your braids back in.
Yeah, for the
Just
time.
keep.
Okay.
Julie, stay fly.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you this. My wife ain't going on vacation without me. So
Well, I think it's sometimes it could be healthy
It is.
to take your separate trips. if you travel more than once a year. Now, if you rarely travel, then yeah, I get it. But
Hold on, Julie. Hold on, Julie. I felt like that was like a shot at me.
listen,
Like you kind of had this. If you rarely travel, like was that? I felt something. Was that directed like at me specifically?
so
It's a yes or no question, Julie B.
I'm gonna be Chels for a second. So let's break this down for a minute. Why do you feel?
Go ahead. You have my attention, Julie Bean. What you got for me?
Why do you feel that it's being directed at you?
Because you know that I don't really go on vacation or travel that often, and your facial expressions and the way in which you presented it implied through my software that you were talking directly to me on that part. That's my answer. What's the next question?
Well, I'm sorry that you feel that I triggered you. Am I on the right path?
You're doing a good job. You keep going.
But if you don't ever travel, then what I said, I could understand why you would take it personally.
Okay. I appreciate your acknowledgement and I appreciate your validation of why I would take it personal. Okay, life coach Julie. But my question to you is, was it meant specifically towards me?
Yes, it was, because you
Okay.
still need to go.
Okay, hold on. Stop right there. Hold on, Julie Bean. You directed something directly at me. You just tweeted me in real time on the live, and I caught you. And then you tried to make it seem like, well, it was directed at you if it triggered you. But if it didn't trigger you, then it wasn't meant for you. When all along you knew that it was meant for me. But go ahead, Julie.
But isn't that what happens in the real world?
What's that?
Sometimes we say things and we don't really know what's going on, and people get triggered because of what we said.
That is true. But you did that intentionally to trigger me.
Well, no, that sounds bad.
You did. You said, Julie, you said, because some people don't go on vacation. Who is some people? You were talking
a lot of people. Vicky, do you? Vicky's laughing. Vicky, do you go on vacation?
Vicky, are you talking? We can't hear you, Vicky. Did you mute your mic?
Oh, I did. I mute my mic.
Uh,
Yeah, I haven't been on vacation. I'm planning to do vacation soon. So
That
yeah.
could have been with her too. I'm just
but
saying.
but specifically, you didn't mean it for her because you didn't know that she hadn't been on a vacation until just now. You asked a question. Julie, I'm a very sharp minded. You are not getting ready to trick me on my. I can be wrong. I'll admit that I'm triggered. I'm triggered. I'm not lying. I'm not. Well, I lied.
How are we gonna work through this?
Okay, well, let's do it. Okay, help me work through it, Julie. And Vicky, are you there? Oh, Vicky's buffering, so we're gonna let her sit in the box right now. She's in jail. She can't pass go or can't collect $200. Okay, you're telling me that you think that I need to go on a vacation.
Yes.
Okay. Why? Okay. Why?
Because I think that a change of scenery every now and then is very healthy. Without the expectation of having to return to work the very next day or something, maybe 2 or 3 days. It's healthy. You get to decompress. You get to experience life even for those 3 days in a different way, in a different environment, different food, different language, different culture. And it kind of unplugs you from the monotony of your everyday life.
Okay. Lil, if you're still in here, Julie's saying that I need to go on a vacation.
I said y'all.
Okay. Y'all. Julie is saying that y'all, you and I, are we taking the kids too?
Well, okay, here's one thing.
Oh gosh.
A trip with the kids is a different type of experience. So it really depends on which experience you want to have first.
Okay.
But I love taking vacation with my kids, but sometimes I needed a little break.
Okay. So if my wife and I were to go on a vacation, because I haven't been full disclosure, I haven't been on a vacation since 2015. I've only been on one vacation in my life. That was my honeymoon. So I've only been on vacation one time in close to 40 years. Where would you, Julie? We talk pretty often. We talk a lot on the live. Sometimes we'll talk offline. Based on my personality, where do you think I should go on vacation to?
So there's I don't know what the name of it is, but there's like these cabins, and I think there's one in Georgia where it's like in the middle of nowhere, and they're self-sustainable, where like you have everything that you need in the cabin,
Uh-huh.
and it's like in the forest somewhere.
Okay.
I thought that would be a great vacation for you and Lil. It's quiet, it's peaceful. You can still be in the nature, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But there's still enough modern equipment to where you're not like, what do you call it? Matching sticks to build a fire.
Rubbing sticks together.
Rubbing sticks together to build a fire.
Okay. Julie, have you ever gone on a vacation by yourself?
No.
Would you go on a vacation by yourself?
Now, absolutely. I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, so Nikki and Vicky want to go to Greece. If you could go anywhere on a solo vacation, where would you go to?
Not Greece, not by myself. Probably somewhere in the US. Maybe like I would go to Vegas by myself.
Really?
Yes.
Have you been to Vegas before?
Yes.
So, do you like Vegas?
Yeah, I enjoyed the time that I was there, but why I would go by myself is because when I experienced it, like strangers from off the street, they'll talk to you. It's not like going to a more secluded place. And if I'm gonna go by myself, I need to feel somewhat safe, if that makes any sense. So I would definitely go to Vegas by myself, and there's so much entertainment that I would enjoy myself. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I've never been to Vegas. I've always liked the city lights.
Mm-hmm.
Drive at nighttime, so a lot of times it's cool to drive around and just to see the lights. So I've always wanted to see Vegas in that aspect. If I were to go on a solo vacation, I would want to go somewhere that was like mountainous,
Yeah.
like a cabin, right?
Oh, Lil just said it. She said it's called the Getaway House, and they're all over. They're not just like in one place. They're all over the country. So that would be cool.
Okay, let's see if our good friend Dr. Hulk. Hey, let me tell y'all a story, right? Just a quick story. There she go. Dr. Hulk to the principal's office. How you feeling, Dr. Hulk?
I'm good.
Dr. Hulk.
Yes.
I absolutely look forward to talking to you every day.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that.
I appreciate you. And just to let y'all know, for our regular viewers, I sent Dr. Hulk a message this morning with the link to all the Porsche Cayennes, all the new Porsche Cayennes for my man Dr. Tom. And lo and behold, he can get a Cayenne for about $70,000, $80,000. The higher end ones are about $190,000, $200,000, but he doesn't even have to go to $150,000. So Soon, my man Tom will be riding his beautiful wife, Dr. Hawk, around in his Porsche Cayenne, all courtesy thanks of Chels.
Imagine that. Picture that one.
Now, I genuinely, I like for people to experience things that they want to experience in life. That's all. And I like cars. So, but anyway, Dr. Hawk,
Yeah.
Mr. Tom comes home from work one day and he says, I'm going on vacation. I'm going to Brazil and I'm going by myself. What is your...
No, sir. No, sir. I'll
Brazil?
no, sir.
Yeah, you going to Brazil.
No.
Chels, come on, Chels.
What's wrong with Brazil?
No, sir.
Oh Lord, you just want to get the man in trouble.
I'm asking the question, but okay, it can't. Okay, let's say he was going to Greece. Can he go to Greece by himself?
No, thank you.
Can he go anywhere by himself?
No, sir.
He can't go anywhere without Dr. Hawk.
Nope.
He's on vacation right now.
So remember, like, he's on a cruise now with his brothers.
Mm-hmm.
He can go some places with his family and his close friends, but nowhere by himself.
Why not? Why not?
Why? Why does he need to go? Why for?
I just always, the same way I just always wanted a Porsche Cayenne. I just always wanted to go on a vacation by myself one time.
No, thank you. You're not a solo. You're not solo anymore.
Dr. Hawk ain't playing no games.
You go and we all go.
But Julie said that it's healthy for people to have their own getaways.
Yeah, Chels, but not Brazil or Greece.
He can ride up the road to the in the harbor. From where we at, he can ride up the road. I can see that. Or he can even go back to Philly a little bit.
Dr. Hawk, you on the East Coast?
Yeah, I'm in Delaware.
Oh, you in Delaware?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You know where I'm at?
Where are you?
I'm in Maryland.
You're in Maryland, DC area, right? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, let's be a little more realistic.
Thank you.
He's not going to Brazil. He's going to Miami.
Chels, really?
That's Florida.
Oh my God.
The way it's set up, we don't go places by ourselves. Only if it's for a reason, like if it's for like work, and but we don't do that. We don't do that.
Okay, let me ask you this: do y'all take a vacation every year?
Just about. Mm-hmm.
Where's y'all? Do y'all go different places? Y'all try to go different places every year?
Yeah.
Okay, where'd you go to this year?
As a family, no, wait a minute. Me and him went somewhere for our anniversary. Where did we go? Dang, I forget. But as a family, we did Virginia.
Oh, what part?
We did Busch Gardens, so we were in that area. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Busch Gardens, the theme park?
Yeah, Busch Gardens in that area, like the where's that in? Now, is it Williamsburg, Virginia?
I want to say it's in Williamsburg, but I've never been. I think it is though.
Yeah, I think that's where we went with me and him and the kids. That's where we went for a family vacation. But dang, now I'm trying to think, where did we go?
What if he says that he needs to decompress and it's nothing that is going on with y'all, but he just needs one night or two away?
Me and the kids will go to New York and we'll leave them at the house.
Oh, so y'all leave and you leave him home.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Hawk ain't get no push.
What?
Tom ain't going to Brazil.
But he don't need to go nowhere by himself. But he often does go. You know, I don't bother him when he goes with the guys. Like he used to, go to the hoodie awards. He used to, with his brother. I'm fine with that. I don't give him any pushback for any of that. So you don't need to go by yourself.
Okay.
But what if he wants to?
Well, we're going to have to rethink that. Look, I think my parents are coming in here, y'all. I got a haunted carnival going on tonight at school.
Oh, so you gotta go. If you gotta go, that's fine. We appreciate
That's not, but yeah, he He can go get a room at a local hotel.
Real quick before you go, seriously, if you can go anywhere with Mr. Tom, anywhere in the world that you haven't been to, where would you go to?
So we're thinking about even this year. Where did he say he want to go? We're either going to go to Europe or where the place everybody else want to go to, where the sands and stuff. I don't know why I'm having a brain fart right now.
How did the kids do today?
Oh, they were fine because they wanted to participate in the parade. They wanted the party because if they cut up, they knew they were sitting somewhere with me or my behavior interventionist.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I'm glad they did good. So, what'd you say? What was the one option? Europe.
To the Middle East. Where does everybody want to go in the Middle East?
Dubai.
Dubai. That's where he said he really wants to go, and we make that for his 50th birthday.
Go to Dubai, and it's not as expensive as people think.
Yeah,
I hear they got nice cars in Dubai.
Or your cab, you'll be in a Porsche Cayenne in your cab. That's your cab. That's your taxi there.
Hey, Lil, maybe we need to go to Dubai.
Yeah, that will be an experience. That amazing experience, Dubai.
Yeah.
So maybe Mr. Tom can get a Porsche Cayenne shipped back from Dubai.
Maybe, in his dream, but maybe
In his dreams.
I'm
just messing with you. I'll let you slide off, Dr. Hope. I appreciate you. You say you talking about your parents, the kids' parents.
Yeah, because we having a PTA event since it's a Halloween weekend and stuff, so they coming through for the haunted carnival.
Dr. Hope, I'm gonna come visit you at your school one day and talk to your kids and teach them how to take their power back.
All right,
we'll holler.
All right,
later.
Have a good night.
You too.
Oh, Lil said after Bora Bora, Chels, you need to start making a list and checking it off.
Okay, so let me be honest about myself, because what I do is I help people face themselves, and that's because I'm pretty good at facing myself. I'm gonna tell you what my complex is, Julie. Have I ever told you what my complex is about vacations?
Mm-mm.
So this is what I think it is, and I'm being honest. I think because we were poor when I was a kid, and my father kind of had this view of not wasting money. And so I think that because I have this constant, need or desire to attain, that I'm someone who puts off sometimes things that are good for me or that I want, because I feel like I haven't reached a level that I have set out to yet.
I see.
So, and I'm probably wrong for that. It's not like I have the money to do it. But I think maybe you and I had a similar conversation about dating. What I told you was, I'm not going to tell what we talked about really, but what I told you was that you're probably going to have to learn to sit in some form of your own discomfort in order to expand your own horizons and dive deeper into who you are, find out more about yourself, and find out who you are in different situations. When it comes to going on vacations and traveling and all of those things, that's probably something, takeaway probably, that's something that I should be doing more of.
Yeah. We didn't take a lot of vacations growing up either, because we were working. I started working when I was 10 with my family, but I saw how all that hard work over a span of like 20 years, and my parents, because of the choices that they made, right?
Mm-hmm.
They really have nothing to show for it today, right? So I said that I was not going to continue that tradition, because there is so much of the world outside of the US to experience, and like even like human connection um outside of this country is completely different. And to me, it's very important to experience that, because I know what it's like to work and work and work and work and work and work. And at the end of the day, like, you can't take any of that with you. But what I hold dear to me are memories and experiences.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why, even if it's not like lavish trips or whatever, even if it's like time spent. So I think I did the opposite. My parents rarely spent time with us because everyone was working. So now I'm trying to do as much as I can, and kind of show my kids a different part of the world at an earlier age. Because I feel like when you are well traveled, it kind of um, builds a different perspective for you in life. Like I went to Cuba, and that experience was an eye opener. It wasn't a great trip, right? It wasn't a great trip at all, but it reminded me of how I need to appreciate what I have now. And I went to Costa Rica, and that was an amazing trip. And it reminded me about how you can still go to a country where the neighbors talk to each other and they open their homes to you and they want to have, like, those experiences I take with me. That's why I say, like, I don't necessarily mean like take the kids to Disney, because honestly, that could be a bit of a hassle. But like just taking the time to experience a different aspect of life with your partner.
Mm.
Not just, by yourself, but like with your partner, and like creating those memories, to me is very important, because working is great, but at the end of the day, it's not everything that life is about. I don't know if that makes sense.
No, that makes sense. That absolutely makes sense. I know when we went to Cancun. Our honeymoon was in Cancun, and that was the first time I realized how you almost feel like a different person outside of your normal element, right? And it took me probably, because I think we were there for maybe 6 days.
Mm-hmm.
We were there for close to a week. I know it was more than 4. I think it was about 6. And the first 2 days, I wasn't really comfortable. I hadn't really melted into the whole experience.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe around the 3rd or 4th day, I was just like, gosh, like, I don't even feel like me. I feel like it's a new me. Like, I feel different, you know what I'm saying? But the one thing about going to Cancun, that one of the things that'll stick with me was when we did the excursions. We
Mm-hmm.
went, Julie Bean almost died in a cave.
Oh, you didn't die, really?
Obviously, I didn't. But I'm gonna come back to the cave. Remind me to come back to the cave. I'll tell you
Okay.
the cave experience. It's so embarrassing, right? But when we went off the resort and we saw how a lot of the locals lived,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, yo, like these people live like in like huts and like shacks, and like they have like, and I'm sure there's some quality to that in terms of maybe growing your own food and being in touch with nature and things like that. So you see the, I guess you could call it the positive aspects of it, and they probably have a closer knit, like you're talking about, with their neighbors and the oneness with all things. But it sure did make me appreciate America, because I said in my mind, 2 miles behind these trees, I wonder, do these people know that we're having like a food festival? Like we in here throwing food away. We, we can have a whole food fight. You know what I'm saying? And they
Yeah.
out here growing tomatoes,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just like, wow, it's crazy. So, but it just gave me a different perspective. But I work in DC, right? So you see it here too. Like people that aren't from here if you just see DC on Criminal Minds, you would just think that it was this beautiful city, this historic city with these monuments and stuff, right? When you come to the city, at the same time you're looking at the White House, there will be a whole homeless encampment right outside of the gate.
Wow.
Right outside the gate, right across the street. You know what I'm saying? And it's the same thing. People probably come to DC and be like, wow, like you taxing me 30% of my money and it's homeless people sleeping outside the White House? Like, yo, that's crazy. How does this happen? Where's my tax dollars going? But that's neither here nor there. The cave. So last summer, I learned how to swim underwater. So I can go under the water and move from one spot to the next. But back in 2015, I couldn't swim at all. So we did this excursion where you go into the cave and then there's water in the cave.
Did you know?
I knew, but I didn't know how bad it was gonna be.
Okay.
Right? And we get in there and I got this life jacket on. But you're supposed to be like snorkeling, I guess. Lil, was it snorkeling? I guess it was like snorkeling or something, right? And we get into this cave and I'm in the water. And I guess the life vest is made to allow you to swim down in the water if you want to, but allow you to float back up or help you float back up when you're ready to. Julie Bean, I thought I was going to die in that cave. I hung on to the rocks the whole time. And the tour guide, he was like, well, you got to put your face in. You got to put your face in. So I did my face in right quick. And then that's the most embarrassing part. And it's not funny, but it's just, this grown man, had to carry me, another grown man, all the way out the cave, yo.
Did you have an anxiety attack?
Probably.
Mm.
So I was in the cave. I was in the water. I was kind of holding onto the rocks, and this was, when I was still trying to figure out if I could do this thing, right? Yeah. And I think I kind of went out off the rocks a little bit, and I started grabbing my wife. And the tour guide was saying that he kind of pulled me away from her, and he was like, yo, you can't. He was telling her, just go on and do your thing because he's going to end up drowning you because he's going to naturally want to hang on to you.
Right.
Because he's scared or whatever.
Right.
And I think it was at that moment that I realized, okay, I've got to learn to, swim to some degree.
Right.
So just not this year, last year, 2021 was the first time we got a pool like almost in our backyard. And Libby had been learning to swim. And I finally got it. Now, I still can't swim. But if we go to the pool and 20 feet over that way, I can make it and make it over to you. So.
Well, I can't swim either. And I live in Florida. But I did say I'm a scaredy cat. Like, I'm afraid of pretty much everything that I cannot control. Dogs, cats, butterflies, anything that crawls. Like, I'm just afraid of all of it. But I said that every time I go on a trip, I'm going to overcome whatever fear that is. And last year when we went to Costa Rica, I went into a waterfall, which it's exhilarating once you get over the fear of what if.
Mm-hmm.
I went on a ATV
yeah.
thing because I was scared of that too. We rode an ATV on the edge of a mountain. Yes, okay. But I had the best time. Once I stopped crying and was able to, I was scared. I was crying scared. But when we got to the top, I was like, okay, I'm still in one piece. I'm alive, And then I had another, we had to go to the waterfall, which was another thing that I had never done. And all of these things like nature and waterfalls, I've never done that in my life. So that's why I say, like, if you take a trip or, you know, vacation, whatever, and just try to experience something out of your norm, like I have that memory.
Say the last part again.
I said I'll hold on to that memory for the rest of my life.
Cool. Yeah. Overcoming fear. I got a fear of heights, so that's something at my job. I have to check the garages, so I go up to the top of the garage and look over and look at the stars and all. So that's me trying to cope with my fear of heights. Hello, how you doing today?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good. I appreciate you coming on the show. I don't think you've ever been on here before, have you?
No, usually when I log on, I'm walking in the park. So I'm glad you picked me on a day when I didn't decide to go walk.
Oh, okay. I like walks too. For the most part, I walk about 4 or 5 miles every day. Anybody else whoever wants to come on the show, you are more than welcome. Just click the little camera with the plus, and I'll get you in here.
This is my first time going live on any platform.
First time going live ever?
Ever.
Oh,
Hi, Miss Julie.
Hi, welcome. Yeah, the right show for your first.
Okay, so I guess we gotta get to know each other. I am ChellsX. This is Julie Bean at Dance with Julie, your salsa dancer extraordinaire. She's kind of like a co-host at this point.
I know. I watch y'all every day.
Once I really monetize this thing, I'm gonna have to put Julie on payroll, but that's okay because I like it. Are you in a relationship?
Not at the moment.
Okay, that's fine. You've been in a relationship before?
Yes. Recently divorced.
Oh, okay. Imagine that you're in a relationship. You can pick the person, hypothetical person, and they come to you and they say, "Hey, Dollar, I'm going on vacation. I'm going to Brazil, and I'm going by myself." What is your response?
No, indeed.
Why can't the man go on vacation without you?
There's no reason he can convince me.
There's no reason. I got a bag. It's a bag with my name on it with $50 million in a hotel. And I know it's a bunch of beautiful women at that hotel, but I'm going to get that $50 million. Can I go get that $50 million? And because I'm going to get the $50 million. When I come back with the $50 million, are we still going to be together?
Just until I can get to the attorney.
You.
and get half of the bag.
I agree.
Oh, y'all something else. Okay, cool. So, would you ever go on vacation by yourself?
In a relationship? While in a relationship?
Yeah, you in a relationship. I mean, yeah, in a relationship, would you ever go on vacation by yourself?
With family, probably. Yes.
Okay, so cool. Now, if you were, would you just in general, period? Would you go on a vacation by yourself? Nobody else, no family, no husband, no wife, no nothing, just by yourself.
While in a relationship.
Just period.
Oh no, I just did.
Where'd you go?
Las Vegas.
Oh,
By yourself?
It was a work trip, but I turned it into just a time to hang out myself. Yes.
So Julie Bean wants to go to Vegas by herself, or that's where she would go by herself. So could you please tell Julie Bean what it was like to go on a solo trip to Vegas?
It was a little strange because I always do trips with family and usually my spouse. So it was kind of more work and then afternoon play. So I kind of had something to do, but it wasn't bad as I thought. It was my first time, so I just had to kind of like plan it out and just find some things to do, some hot spots, and then take Uber drives everywhere because I was alone. So.
So what was your favorite part of being on? Okay, what was your favorite part of being on a solo vacation that's not relative to the actual location that you were? You understand the question?
No.
So, like, if I were to just say, what was your favorite part about your solo vacation? There could be something about Vegas per se that you enjoyed about Vegas, right?
Right.
But you, did she leave? Oh man. But you could have gone to Vegas, you could have gone to Miami, you could have went to Greece, Brazil, you could have went anywhere and possibly had this revelation about being on vacation by yourself in general that
Right.
you found to be that you found yourself to enjoy or appreciate. Was there anything about just simply being on vacation by yourself that you found to be enlightening or that you appreciated?
Yes, the fact that I actually did it, I accomplished it alone, and I've never did it before, and it was a lot to do because I'm in Louisiana. So just getting it all arranged and knowing that I could manage to get it and have fun and come back safe was a accomplishment.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad you had that experience. Now, you from Louisiana. One time before we got married, my wife went down there. One of her good friends from college was down there, and she came back with some beads. I always pick on her, and so now I have, a someone from Louisiana who's a what do they call them? A home from
Mardi
Louisiana.
Gras, Mardi Gras,
Mardi Gras. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So my
New
question:
Orleans.
what does it take to get the beads? What do you have to do to get? Because she says nothing happened. She just got the beads. So I'm trying to figure out what.
No, you at the parade and they just constantly throwing beads, throwing beads. You might say something funny and you might get more beads, but it's nothing you have to do to get it. They're gonna throw them all the whole time you're at the parades.
Okay, I was worried because they look like Jerry. Y'all remember Jerry Springer? They look like Jerry beads, and I was kind of worried about that. Okay,
No, 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 no.
all right, that's
Some
cool.
people might do something extra to get the beads or the coconuts because they throw coconuts too.
Okay,
But no, you don't have to do anything extra.
okay, I feel a little bit better now. Hello, how are you?
I'm blessed. How are you?
I'm good. What's your name?
Can, my name is Tish.
Hi, Tish. I'm Ted.
I have I've watched you and chimed in the comments several times, and I was never like able to like push the button. So when you push the button, I was like, you know what? I'm going to go on. I'm going to take a minute and
Me
go on.
too. Me too.
How are you? I have been live before. I used to go live often, but life has happened, and I plan to get back to it. But until I do, I wanted to comment on your topic.
Okay, well then I tell you what. I won't even ask you a question. What is your comment on my topic about solo vacations? What you got for
So
me?
I am of the belief. So I'm married. Been with my husband 22 years. Married just under 20, and we are both under the belief that you can't build a solid marriage if you make it a habit of taking solo vacations. We don't believe in that. When we take time off from work or whatever to take vacation, we doing that thing together as a family. We have an 18-year-old, so she going off to college, so we'll be like 2 instead of 3. But no, I don't think that's healthy. But every relationship is different. But for me and my house, we take vacations together. We actually made a commitment when our daughter was very young that if we didn't have a sitter, then we would RSVP together that we can't go. Like we weren't going to like one always gets to go somewhere and the other one has to stay home with the child. We just agreed that we was just going to do this parenting thing together and this marriage thing together. And everybody else around us that have taken these solo vacations and they living their best life, they not married no more. I'm just saying.
So that's a very um enlightening point, right? So my question to you would be, why do you think that going on solo vacation has caused a significant percentage of the people that you know a problem? Or why do you think, because it might not necessarily be the solo vacations, it could be the mindset behind it.
And that's what I was going to say. I think it's the thought process behind it. I think I have a unique philosophy about insecurity and jealousy and that kind of thing. I kind of lean toward it is like, I believe it's my responsibility to secure my husband, right? So he shouldn't be. So I'll give you an example. I went to an HBCU I don't take my husband to my HBCU with me, but it's not far, right? I don't take him because if you ain't go there, the experience is different, and he would just be annoyed the whole time, and so I don't even need. I wouldn't have fun because his face would be, yeah, no, it's just not worth it, right? So I think to that point, people taking solo vacations, and particularly certain places, Brazil and things like it's all speculative. What goes on, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. What happens in Brazil stays in Brazil. You know, all those things. And so if you already have a shaky foundation, it's just not going to work because you're going to always be speculating about what happened when you weren't there. So every relationship has to be built on trust and one another, or each person being willing to do what it takes to secure the other.
Hey, Julie Bean. Julie Bean.
I'm here.
I need you to come back to the camera right quick.
Did you call her Julie Bean?
Yeah, that's my name. I call her Julie. Okay, hey, Julie Bean. Look,
Hi, Julie Bean.
look, somebody keeps ringing my doorbell. So I'm gonna step away and make sure everything's okay, and then I'm gonna come back so you can hold the show.
Of course. Yeah, go ahead.
Appreciate it.
Okay, so I have a question for both of you.
Okay.
Okay.
In your single stage, did you think it was okay to take solo trips? Because I feel like now I want to give it a try. Like, I'm single now after a very long relationship, and I feel like I need to rediscover myself.
Absolutely. I think you could have the most amazing time on a solo trip. The only thing I would say is be careful.
Oh, yeah, of course.
My husband and I went on a trip, and I'm very observant, and God gave me this thing called discernment, and and so I noticed it was an all-inclusive resort, and I noticed the person sitting next to me at the bar did not have on a wristband, and he kept his arm down. So as days went by, I would see these two. It was two guys together, and they were always near the bar. And so we were at a club on the resort, and where the hotel rooms were, it was kind of like a long, dark, brush-filled path. And then when you get off the elevator, you can literally step over the banister and be on someone's balcony. So we like to sleep with our balcony open. But thank God my husband's 6'4", 250 pounds. So if you're not coming with some heat, then you might be like, oh, we don't want to mess with this room.
Right.
But we were at the club, and these two guys were there. I said, babe, I bet you if I went to leave by myself, they would follow me. He was like, you joking? And I was like, no, I got back to you. He was like, all right, go ahead. And so I left, and it was like this really long hallway, and then it was steps to go down, or you catch the elevator. I just dipped behind the wall. You know, those two guys came after me.
What?
These two guys came after me. And so for that reason, I say, go ahead and take your solo trip, but do your research.
Yeah.
Do your research of where you're going. Find out what the lay of the land is. Find out about the security of the place, because when you go to some of these places, the natives can just walk on.
Yeah.
And like I said, if you keep your arm down, no one can see you don't have on a wristband. People don't think that you're that bold and brazen to just come and sit at the bar. Or they might know the bartender. You know what I mean? So you just have to be very careful. But live your best life. Absolutely. If you're single, do your thing. Absolutely. I wore the souls off of single. My cousins tell you. At first I was like, oh, I want to be in a relationship. And then I was like, God got me single, so I'm going to.
Good job, Julie Bean. I appreciate you. That was the pizza guy delivering pizza and Pepsi.
You say pizza and Pepsi?
Pizza, Domino's Pizza. Hey, Domino's, if y'all want to, what's it called, Julie?
Sponsor.
I would like to sponsor the Mars Mindset. Hey, Domino's Pizza will bring you a free pizza. Yolanda, Mrs.
Yes.
Yolanda. Who's Yolanda?
Me.
Oh, okay, got it. Okay, I was just making sure. I had a question for you. You say you're divorced, right?
Yes.
When you were married, did y'all take a vacation every year?
About every other year. Yes.
Okay. I was gonna ask you, do you think vacationing together helps to maintain a happy marriage?
Definitely.
Hmm.
We haven't had it in a while because of COVID. Like, we've been away, but not like a good vacation. Yeah, I agree.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So vacation at least every year if I can,
Every if you can.
which I haven't done. I've been on one vacation in 7 years of marriage and 17 years of relationship. So I'm not like Julie Bean. That's why Julie Bean got at me at the beginning of the show, telling me I need to go on a vacation. So
It's true. Any kids? You have kids, Chels?
yeah, I got kids. I got 19-year-old, but my 19-year-old doesn't she doesn't live with me. Um I have a 6-year-old and I have a 2-year-old. And that's part of the reason why. So Libby, my 6-year-old, was born the next year after we got married. So we got married in 2015. Libby was born in February of 2016. So having the young kids that early into the marriage, I think, has played a major role in us not going on vacation. You know, the vacation like you really talking about. So
Oh, well, I see just the opposite. I had a baby the year after my marriage too, and I also came to the marriage with a 4-year-old.
mhm.
So I thought that was better because I planned everything around kid vacations and kid places and kid amusement parks, and so we always had something to do, and it was mostly just for the kids. It was never really for us. So
Okay,
probably why I'm divorced.
because one of my hangups about the kids is I don't want to spend my money on a vacation and feel like instead of being on vacation, I'm just parenting in a different place.
Well, that's going to happen. You
Yeah.
always parenting in a different place. But I'm going to tell you a nice place to go that's in the States. Doesn't have to be too expensive, but the kids can kind of, what's your youngest? You said 6?
No, my youngest is 2.
Ooh.
Ooh, yeah, I know. I know. And
I
she's
was
a
going to say
firecracker.
there's a place in Orlando my husband and I love, and we have 3 children together, but we have one out, and so she was growing up as an only child. But this place, she could self entertain, and it was like the coolest thing ever because it did feel like vacation. It was a getaway for all of us because she could self entertain. And then there were times that we actually, most recently, I think right before COVID, maybe when COVID broke a little bit, we took her friend, and that was even better. They were like 15, 16. Yes. Like we were able to chill, and we can go out while they were in the room, and it was
Yeah,
pretty cool.
we did the same thing. We had mostly cruise vacations. And when the kids became teenagers, we allowed them to take a friend from school. Well, one of them had a girlfriend, and the oldest, and then the other one had a best friend. So we got them adjoining rooms, and they was out of our hair the whole trip. So we did vacations like maybe cruise vacations every other year for the last, I don't know, almost the whole marriage.
Okay, so here's the conclusion that we have with Miss Yolanda and what ain't grown folks' perspectives.
Tish.
Oh, Tish.
But yeah, that's my page, Grown Folks
Tish
Perspective.
have instructed me that I am not allowed to go to Brazil, even if there's a bag of $50 million in a hotel full of beautiful women. And if I do go get the bag, I might as well just come home and hand it over to my wife because she was going to take it because I went on vacation to Brazil without it.
I think if there's $50 million waiting, why your wife can't go with you?
She can't go. That's just the rules of the show today. She can't. She can't go with me to Brazil. If I show up with somebody with me, I can't have the money.
Okay, so let me ask you, what's your foundation?
What do you mean?
What's the foundation of your marriage? What's the foundation?
Love.
Trust.
Okay. Trust is part of it, right?
I mean, that's important. That matters. Trust, respect, honesty,
Mm-hmm.
openness.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you have any cracks in the foundation before you attempt to go get this bag, all that bag is going to do is, am I still here? Okay.
You here?
All that bag is going to do is create some problems.
Okay.
Right.
So I can see how that bag would create problems, but I'd rather have problems with a $50 million bag than without a $50 million bag.
Depends on where your priorities lie. If money is at the top of the list, then rock out. But
But if we already okay, so let's look into this. We are going to have issues. Me going to get this $50 million bag is going to cause us issues, right? That's the hypothetical that we're going with. And I'm just working through this. I'm not trying to prove a point. Sometimes I'm trying to prove a point. That's not what I might end up on the same page as you, and we'll all just get along at. This $50 million bag that I'm going to get from Brazil in this hotel full of beautiful women is going to cause us problems.
why in the hotel full of beautiful women though?
Because it makes the hypothetical good. Because the reason,
it makes it more obvious why you shouldn't be going. Like your intentions are not right.
no. But what it does is it sets the hypothetical. Because if I tell you I were going to Antarctica by myself, you'd say you're gonna have to go by yourself because I don't want to go to Antarctica because I don't want to get frostbitten. But you want to go to Brazil, and that's what triggers you about the fact that I'm going. So I just figure I'll trigger you a little bit more, right? In this hotel, just hypothetical. But the point that I'm making is if we have issues about me going to Brazil, we don't really have issues about me going to Brazil. We have underlying issues that haven't been worked out, right? I think we all agree there. The position that I'm taking, now I'm not disagreeing with you, but the position that I'm taking is that if these issues already exist, we might as well allow these issues to exist, and then we can have the issue of figuring out how we're going to split this $50 million when I get back. Because at least we can get rid of the money issues. On all our trust.
At least money won't be one of our problems. We might have a whole lot of problems.
Right.
Money might solve the problem.
I understand. I'm tell you how fair I would be. I would say, look, darling, I understand that you're leaving me because I went to Brazil by myself to this hotel full of beautiful women to get this $50 million bag. But this is what we will agree to. I will give you 30 million of the 50 million.
25. You said half, right?
I will give her because I was wrong and inconsiderate for going to Brazil to this hotel full of beautiful women without you. I'm going to give you $30 million of this 50 million untaxed money that we now have, and you can do with it what you wish. Can I go get the bag now, Miss Tish?
For me, it's almost like what's the movie? Can I sleep with your wife for $1 million?
Right.
The indecent proposal, right?
Yeah, that's not my twist. Money's not that. I didn't marry for money.
But I ain't gonna sleep with nobody. I'm just going to get the bag.
Well, we won't know that.
Right.
You gonna know what I'm coming back with.
But money is not my top priority.
But I'm gonna tell y'all like this. My wife.
That's if we have a shaky foundation. If our foundation is solid, babe, go get that.
Oh, okay.
Get that. If we have a solid foundation, absolutely. But if we have a shaky foundation, you can go to New Jersey. I'm in PA.
How would we know? How would we know? We wouldn't even know.
You wouldn't know. But my point, I guess the way I'm looking at it is, if our foundation is shaky, it may as well be shaky with $50 million. It was shaky before the $50 million. You know what I'm saying? We say foundation. It was like
rock it a little more, huh?
Huh?
Rock it a little more, huh?
Rock the boat, work the middle, all that Aaliyah stuff. We might as well have all these problems, and then at the end be like, I don't like you neither. But what you gonna do with your half for the $50 million? Now that
you're giving my half.
I mean, I know it's an unrealistic scenario, but I just think in terms of if you were to make it more applicable to real life, in terms of maybe like I would assume like sometimes ball players kind of deal with similar types of things, and the events that they get invited to or the networks that they're in, and they're probably like, hey, like, this is an opportunity to get a deal with, say, Sprite or somebody like that. And like you said, because there may be issues underlying that could cause a problem. Now, I think that's, an easier thing to traverse if you're already making a significant amount of money. But if you're like the average guy out here who's making $50,000, $60,000, I know we shaky and I know we got some issues and I know you think what's going to happen in that hotel but I'm really just going to get this 50 million.
You just gotta think what you gonna think, babe. I'll be back.
Right.
I'm going to get that bag.
And if it's already shaky 9 out of 10 times, they're probably gonna go without your permission anyway, and just deal with whatever happens on the way back.
See, Miss Yolanda got the right idea because she like, oh, well, we already shaky. I already don't like you, and you already don't like me. I might as well not like you while you have $50.
I just got out of the same relationship you're talking about. Just got out.
Give me my money.
Right. So,
I
yeah,
already know it's gonna last. Let me take my half so I can get this lawyer and get up out of here.
Julie Bean, you back?
I have a question. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Would you say that men are more inclined to want to take these solo trips more than women?
I think so.
I believe.
I think so.
So the question is do I think husbands are more likely to desire to take solo trips than wives?
Or, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever. Yeah.
Probably, but I don't know. I'm not big of a traveler, and I don't have a desire to travel by myself. Like, I know we just went through the whole scenario and all of that, but just me as a person, I don't have a desire to travel by myself. I don't really I like being in different places. I don't like the process of getting there. So I might not be the best person to answer this, but if I had to answer, I think men would be more likely to want to go somewhere by themselves and kind of see what's out there. And if a woman wanted to go and do a vacation that was minus her man, it would be more so because she wanted to do a girls trip as opposed to a solo trip. And I think a big part of that in my mind, I don't know, would be that men, we typically feel safer. It would make more sense for a man to feel safer in a foreign environment than a woman. Right? Because anything that can go wrong in a new environment can happen to anyone. But if Julie Bain decides to go to say Mexico by herself, and I decide to go by myself, there's more likely that Julie's going to be sex trafficked than I am. So even if these people were going to rob and do all of these things to all of us, they're also looking at you for a whole nother element that they're not looking at me, which gives me a little bit more comfort and privilege in being the person who chooses to go solo. So I think that plays a role, or could play a role in why I think men would be more likely to go solo as opposed to women who I think would be like, I'd rather go with my girlfriends or a group. That's just my thought.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. So, no one's husband here or hypothetical significant other. Well, Julie Bain says her guy can go on vacation.
So when in my last relationship, he traveled a lot, more than I enjoyed. But it was always for work. But his work was, a fun job. It wasn't like he was behind the desk or anything. And I always tried to sneak myself into those business trips because I enjoy traveling with people. This whole solo trip idea that I have is really me saying, let me try something different. It's not something, that I'll wake up and be like, oh, let me go to Mexico by myself. No, I enjoy taking a break with family, friends, kids, everything. But he did travel a lot by himself, and I didn't like it.
Was it part of the reason why it didn't work out?
No, absolutely not. No, I understood the reasoning behind traveling alone for these trips because you want to make as much money as possible. So when you start adding people, like when I have a show and it's out of state, they're paying me, not me and my plus one and, all of that. So it is a smarter thing, to bring home as much money as you can. But I still didn't like the idea of him going to Dubai, to cover a wedding by himself. And it was like, man, I want to go to Dubai. Like, I want to go to Dubai.
He didn't invite you to any of the trips?
Um, the ones that were close by where it wasn't too much work, yes, but like weddings and he was a photographer, so his mind was always gonna be on the job, and
But
it
a
was
job is not 24 hours.
right, but it was I'm gonna work, and as soon as I'm done, I'll be back. If you want to go to Dubai, let's make it a real vacation where work is not included. That was his mindset, and I had to respect, his choice. He wasn't my husband or anything, but when it came time for me to travel for work, I gave him the same spiel. I was like, well, I'm going to work, so if you want to go to New York, then let's go to New York when I'm not working.
But did you do that only to? Did you do that out of spite?
That's why I was asking, were you being petty?
Yeah, I was being petty because I was like, well, I can add 2 more days to the back end of my, my gig. But yeah, I was being petty.
I have traveled. I worked for a company that actually sent us to Phoenix every year on Valentine's Day. I was like,
Wow.
whoever planned this conference cannot be happy in a relationship. Like, who does that every year? And so I said, you know what? My child is young. I get free flying privileges. Come on. I took my whole family with me. So I worked on a day. And when I was done, we hung out at the resort and went and toured Phoenix and all that kind of stuff. So it was like I enjoy traveling with my family. And so I made that happen. I think people, even when they travel for work, I don't think it's a matter of a +1 or anything. I think they just they want that freedom. And they use that. That sounds like hiding behind work because those that enjoy being with their partner want nothing more than to have that person at that hotel when they finish their work day. So if you don't have your partner at your hotel when you finish your work day, you either want space or you want freedom, in my opinion.
No,
Okay,
I definitely agree. I agree.
I agree with that too. If it was me, I wouldn't matter that I was going there for work. Like we're in Dubai, we might never ever. Dubai might not be on the map the next time we get a chance.
Right. And the company paying for it. So
Yeah, and we're making a little bit of money, so we're gonna take a little less profit.
right,
Right? This
right.
ain't really. It's not really costing us anything because we're getting paid. It's costing us our work energy, but we're gonna be working anyway. So
That's right.
so I can pay for your flight because you can stay in a hotel, right? But anyway, let's have a moment of honesty, and then we're gonna let Miss Tish and Miss Yolanda slide off so we can get Dr. J in here talk to Dr. J. Why is it that you would have an issue with your husband or your significant other going on solo vacation? What is it that you are fearful of happening?
I can go first with that one. It's not fear at all. It's just what our beliefs are. So before we got married, we did premarital counseling, and several things that came out in the counseling, like where would we live, and solo vacations. And my husband is from Chicago. I'm from Philly, and he wanted to go to Chicago. My pastor told us, let me tell you something. If your husband wants to go, you need to go. But he told my husband, but if you go and you don't make sure your wife happy, you're not gonna have no joy. So make sure don't posture. And so that was one of the things that if you want your marriage to be strong, don't go with what culture is saying and doing solo vacations. Stick together. Don't give room for air to get between you. It's easy to separate. Once there is that separation, there's that separation. The drift is real. So it's just a belief. It's not a fear for me. It's just what we believe in. That's what we stood on when we made our vows. So that's our story.
Yeah, I respect that. I like that because y'all said it. Y'all set the intention from the jump and y'all stick to it. So it's almost like there doesn't even need to be a discussion about whether or not I'm going without you. It's just a matter of if and when we are going to wherever it is we want to go to. I like that. Miss Yolanda, what about you? Is it something that you fear about me going to this hotel? to get this,
Yes,
you know, what is it that you,
I'm jealous and insecure.
uh, I love
Go
your
ahead,
self.
tell the truth, shame the devil. All right now.
That's it. That's all it was. And I never was. I was married 22 years, but I can say I had not known of any reason to not be secure. But I've just maybe from past relationships, I just feel like um, going on a solo trip would make you do things maybe that you did not want to do, even if you had that freedom. I don't know. My trust issues just probably wasn't in the right place.
I respect and admire your your honesty and your self-awareness, right? Even to the point of you saying like he didn't do anything for me to not trust him. It could have just been, you know, my past experiences, which in my opinion would make it easier to have a conversation about it. So Coach Jay says have a conversation. So yeah, I appreciate y'all. Y'all have been great.
Well, let me tell you this though, but
Okay.
I never had the reasons to be insecure,
Okay.
but my marriage ended and he was actually cheating. So
Then you
I
had a
mean
you just didn't identify. You had a reason.
I
That
I never had a reason to believe he was. He admitted to it. So
but that's your spirit. You probably weren't as self-aware as you are right now, but your something in your spirit felt that. Like, so when I say people should secure their partners, something in your spirit didn't feel secure. So you could have had your past. I've had my past situations. I was cheated on the whole 9 yards, but there was a different level of trust that I came to my relationship with because of how my husband secured me, because of how he
oh
secured me.
right.
And
Well yeah,
so there was something in your spirit that didn't feel right, and it boom, it was true.
right. Maybe I had been warned enough prior to the marriage that I was marrying someone that wasn't always the best, the most faithful. And sometimes you got to listen when people talk.
Okay, cool. Well, I appreciate both of y'all for coming on. Dr. J, is that you?
Glad to be able to join finally. You
Yeah.
create a one
Hey, look, real
weekend.
quick,
Yes,
before
me
y'all,
too. My first time, I wasn't as nervous as I thought.
yeah, before y'all go, y'all are more than welcome to come on the show anytime. Topic y'all wanted me to talk about, just let me know. And yeah, I appreciate y'all. Nice meeting y'all. Y'all come back, see y'all on Monday or next time.
What's your schedule? Because I don't get on social often, but when I log on and I see you, I'm usually on for just maybe 15, 20 minutes, and then I'll see you chime in, and then you be going off, and I'll be going off. So
So
when you go live, what's your schedule?
Monday through Friday, 5:30 p.m. Eastern time. And if you miss any of the episodes, I always post them to YouTube the next morning.
Gotcha.
So
Excuse
if
me.
it's something you absolutely, because I also have another podcast where I actually sit down and do long interviews, right?
I want to have you. I want to go live with you and interview.
Okay. Oh,
I'm gonna get back to interviewing on my channel. I'm gonna have you live.
okay, cool. So yeah, shoot me a DM. We'll set it up. And if that's for anybody too, if you wanted me to interview you on the long form, where it's just you and I for an hour and we talk about whatever topic you choose, let me know. We set it up. Typically, I would do those on a Saturday or Sunday night, but that's
And
what
what time other show that you said you was getting ready to say?
this one.
Not this one, the one you was getting ready to say another
So
show.
so with this one, I do this one Monday through Friday, 5:30. Normally, I start between 5:30 and 5:40. Monday through Friday Eastern, 5:30 Eastern. But I also do long form interviews. I do those on. I normally schedule those for Saturday nights around 8 or 8:30, just depending on what works best for the person that I'm interviewing. On that
Oh, one.
on that particular one, I let my guests pick the topic. Right? They pick the topic, and then I'll write out the questions ahead of time, and then we sit there and we have the conversation for an hour, and we go deep down the rabbit hole and whatever it is that they're into or comfortable talking about. Right? So follow me on YouTube. You can look up IamChellsX. You can search Marchello Bradley. You can search What's Up With You. You can search Marchello. Any three or four of those there. I appreciate y'all.
All right, thank you.
Please have a great
I
weekend.
talked to Dr. J so I can see if Rod can go to Brazil to the hotel with the city.
Wonderful weekend, everyone.
All right,
Peace.
we'll holler. All right, here we go. Dr. J.
Hi, Charles.
What's happening? How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. Feeling okay. I was, having my Friday drink,
Okay. What you sipping on?
Hennessy and Coke.
Okay. So, Henny and Coke. You know I don't drink?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I don't drink. I mean, I'll hold up. Julie's trying to get back in here. Julie's like out and about, jumping around. No, I rarely drink.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I lean more towards being than a drinker. Go ahead, say hi, Julie.
Hi, Dr. J.
Hey, girl. Hey, Dance with Julie.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I feel
Not
good.
Charles
That
locking
was
up.
a very that was such a quick trip to Florida.
Oh, that was a turnaround because it was a last minute, let's go to the game type of thing. Let's go support the Ravens.
Hold on.
Yeah, she was in Florida.
Did you go visit
Yeah.
Julie B?
Huh?
You didn't go visit Julie B?
She wasn't
Oh,
there. I was in it. You didn't see us. We was talking about it yesterday during the show, and then I went into her inbox because I didn't want to be disrespectful to the Mars mindset. Talk about, but she wasn't. She was like, what you say? You were like 2 hours away, 3 hours away,
four.
four. She's 4 hours away.
Okay. The last time y'all were on my show, y'all tag team me. I took it. Y'all made me apologize. So let's try and keep it, clean and cordial today. Because when y'all get together, y'all like to beat up on me, and I don't like that. Dr. J, Rod comes to you. Rod kicks in the door. Boom! I'm Rod. Dr. J, I'm going to Brazil, and you can't come. And I'm going to get the $50 million bag in the hotel full of beautiful women. What do you have to say
Wait,
about that?
he's going to get the $50 million bag where?
In the hotel that's in Brazil that's full of beautiful women.
Oh, how long is he going to be gone?
A week.
It's going to take him a week to get $50 million.
Yeah, because I got to relax. I got to chill. I got to see what's up. I got to hang out with the locals and all of that good stuff, too. I mean, I'm not just going just to get the 50 million, but the 50 million is there.
Then he's not going to do no shady stuff.
You don't know what he's going like Miss Tish and Miss Yolanda said. You don't know what he's going to be doing with it. The only thing you know is that he's supposed to come back with that bag of $50 million. Are you giving Rod the blessing to go?
Is that the real question and topic today?
The real thing is solo vacations. Would you be okay with your significant other going on a solo vacation?
Right, yeah, I would.
Why would you be okay with it?
Why would I, or why would I?
You said you would, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, for me, like, I feel like as time moves on in your relationship, for whatever your relationship is, the things change. So probably in the beginning, I would have been like, probably like, no, per se. I would have been like, no, I don't think, no, because we do everything together. We would do everything together. But as your relationship progresses, you change the rules a little bit. The rules change at times. I don't like to use rules, but whatever you're comfortable with in your relationship changes at times. So right now, yeah, I'm fine with him going on a solo trip. I mean, it's actually happened. So, I mean, I didn't have a problem with it.
Let me
I
ask
mean,
you. Were you done?
no, go ahead.
Because you hit on something that I kind of want to dig into a little bit. Excuse me. You said early on you would lean more towards no.
Mm-hmm.
And as the relationships grow and change and metamorph and all of that, you would feel more inclined to lean more towards the yes. Considering, well, let me ask you this: do you think relationships are better in the earlier stages or in the latter stages? I'm not trying to prove a point. I'm honestly, I'm thinking through. I'm thinking through. I'm not trying. I know I take people down rabbit holes and they'd be like, see, I told you I was right. I'm not doing that to you.
Do I think that they're, say it again,
Do you,
better in the beginning?
do you think the relationships are healthier and better earlier than later?
To be honest with you, I don't know if healthy is the word I would use. I mean, if I had to, I would say that you can make, you can, if it starts out, I don't want to say healthy, maybe more, there's more like maybe passion. There's more, like I want to be with my partner. Like I think I've said it before, all the time. Like it's great. We're together, and then life starts to happen in the relationship. So the dynamic of what you want to do or the things you probably didn't want to do in the beginning, they change. So I would say, if I had to base it off of my relationship, I would say, I would say our relationship got healthier, maybe like as we grew to know each other a little bit better. Because I was fairly young when I got with Rod. So I think that it's just when you taking curves in your relationship, that they are what's best for not just you, but for that person too. You get what I'm saying?
I think I understand what you're saying. It makes me wonder because you tend to become more secure in your relationship, or at least with who your partner is, the longer you're with them. When I say you know them, I don't necessarily mean that I guess I'm just saying their good qualities and their bad qualities more than you did in the beginnings, because you've been through things with them. So it makes me wonder, is that the reason why someone like you and probably a lot of people would more so be okay with it later on, but not earlier on? Because everyone is either saying no or later on. Because Vicky was on earlier and she said, because it would be early, I would want to go, but I wouldn't have as much of an issue.
I mean, and so for me, like I said, when we first started seeing each other, we were like Velcro. We were glued at the hip. We would literally do things together all the time. But when I met Rod was he would trips on his own.
Hold on, stop right there. Hey, Vicky, mute your mic. What were you saying, Jay? We got cut off.
When I met him, he would do things like he would take like trips. He would go places on his own. When I met him, he was doing that. You know what I mean? So, and then as we just became like glued at the hip. But as things happened, like right now, I would not have a problem with it, because I actually think it's good for him. It's good for him. It's good for me too. So
okay.
I don't have an issue with it.
Okay, that's cool. I like that. I think you're speaking to a level of knowingness, security, and understanding of what the situation is, and that's why you're okay with it. Vicky, you can unmute now.
Yeah, I'm sorry. My son is playing his game, or not playing his game, but listening in on his tablet. So that's the extra noise.
Oh, good. How old is your son?
He's 11.
Okay, we keep it PG-13.
Yeah, well, he can't hear you because I got my headphones on. You
Oh,
say
okay.
hi. Oh, they can't see you.
Hey, take your
What are you
power.
saying? He said take your power.
Did he pray today?
Yeah, every day.
Make sure. And we gotta get our daily prayers in. So Vicky, earlier, I think we got cut off. So you were saying that.
Yeah.
Where do you stand? Tell the people where you stand again. For where you at?
So if it's early on, like I told you, I'm gonna have a problem regardless. I'm gonna have a problem regardless. But I think like over time, like if we just started out, dating or whatever the case may be, and maybe he already had it, set up prior to whatever, and I would have a problem with it still, but I'll be okay with it. Now we together, we taking trips together. Like you going, okay, I'm booking my flight too. I'm going too. I just, because I've been in a situation to where I have been the lenient one, and that mess bit me hard. Like, you give people the freedom, still to do what they want to do, even in a relationship. And sometimes people take that for granted and they run with it. And my thing is, my motto is for myself is like, if we're together, we're together. And we're doing this thing as a team, like, period. But it's not like I don't trust this person. It's just like, the desire to want to be in a space where, we both can develop, we both can grow. I just feel if it gets to the point to where we're going to different, places separately, it becomes to be normal and the mindset start changing a little bit. So I have a problem with it in the beginning, but you won't really notice it. But I'll voice it once we get serious. If that makes sense.
Okay, so do you think maybe it would be so when you talk about dating, you're saying when we start dating exclusively is when we should have that conversation?
Like once we begin to get committed, yes, like that should be a conversation. I'm all for solo vacations when I'm single, when we're single. Okay, cool. But would that be still be the norm if we become a family? Are you gonna dip out and have a solo vacation? I'm sitting here with the kids, like I want to go too. We want to go too. Drop them off to grandparents, somebody. But it's just, we will have that conversation.
Okay, I respect that. Go ahead, Jay. You got something?
No, I mean, I'm just wondering why. Hi, Vicky. Why, Vicky, you want to talk to like a friend? Why wouldn't you tell him in the beginning before you got committed? Like, why wouldn't you be upfront about it in the beginning before the commitment? Why wouldn't you tell him, like, or, in your own way, or however you want to choose to say it to him, that you're not really for the solo vacations? Why wouldn't you tell him early on versus waiting?
Well, like if the conversation, yeah, if the conversation comes up, can y'all hear me? Because I know I'm probably like breaking it.
No, we good.
Okay, okay. So if the conversation presents itself at that time, then yeah, I'll definitely tell him how I feel. But if he abruptly already had this together, like he already had this vacation already planned out and he's already ready to go, then it's like, dang, I know he's not going to cancel it because I'm not okay with it. So it'll be a conversation to be had. If he has already planned it out and he wants to go, okay, that's fine. I don't have no other choice but to accept it, and then we will have that conversation later. But if the conversation presented itself before that, then yeah, definitely I'll tell him how I feel.
Okay.
You
Because I
good?
just didn't know like when. Oh, okay.
What'd you say, Jay?
No, go ahead. What'd you really say? I see your wheels spin.
Vicky, did you have something else? Did you have something else to add?
No, that was it. Like I wasn't sure like when the conversation, as far as like the solo vacation would, have happened, if this was already pre-planned or this is something that, he hasn't bought his ticket or whatever. And he just told me like, hey, look, I'm going this another. Then, yeah, I would voice it to the point to where like, dang, I was thinking that you was going to bring me too. Like, then we have that conversation. But if he already had this plan that he was going to do this already and he already is prepared, then it's like, okay, we're going to have this conversation when he get back.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think if somebody already had something planned and then you kind of came along, you just accept certain things about what they already have set up.
Pretty much.
But Jay said something about was it Jay? Somebody said something about the crazy hypotheticals, right? I think for those people who are in the dating world and trying to navigate that world, hypotheticals like these are good to have in good lighthearted conversation because it allows you to get insight into different people's mindset about potentialities of the future. So I think what Dr. J is getting at is why not just have the conversation as early as possible? That way you kind of already know what's on and popping. Is that what you were trying to get at, Jay?
Yeah, I mean, I guess, I mean, Yeah, I mean, but you know the person that you're dating, so you know if that's a conversation that you should have in the beginning or you should have it whenever. But I personally, I'm just wondering. I feel like yeah, like the conversations should start. They could start in the beginning, so there is no, you know, surprise. Like it could be like, for instance, if let's say Vicky, she she likes to shop, right? But the dude that she's dealing with is like, you know, he's not really for that. But they have a conversation in the beginning, and Vicky's like, listen, this is who I am. When I'm stressed, I shop. When I, you know what I mean? It's like getting it out of the way or being upfront about it in the beginning so that it doesn't, it's not like, surprise, you know, this is my issue when we've already discussed it. But,
I mean, that makes sense to me though. So I think the important thing you're talking about is self-awareness, right? That self-awareness and the ability to be transparent about who you are and the way you are as early as possible. Because I mean, you know, you're in a relationship for a long time. We all know people are going to change, their interests change, and stuff like that. But I think if you kind of set the tone as much as possible, it makes it easier to traverse those things. But I will add, it's important. It is important to take people at their word when they tell you about themselves, right? So, like, let's say I was a guy who enjoyed doing solo trips. Right? If I were in the dating world and I was telling a young lady, you know, I take a solo trip every year, and in her mind she says, solo trip, I don't really like that, but I don't want to lose him to the solo trips, and so she pretends like she's okay with it, right? I think it's better. It would be a better situation in the future if she went ahead and asked about that now and admitted to herself that she was probably going to have an issue with that.
right.
That way, she knows she was going to have an issue with it. He knows she's going to have an issue with it. And then if they're going to, you know, stay together, that could be something they could mitigate ahead of time, as opposed to next year when he getting ready to leave, he like, yo, what's wrong with you? And she like, nothing.
Right. Exactly. But then like I was saying, it's also just, I feel like relationships, they change, they evolve. So it may be like, oh, I don't have an issue with it now, but I have it, you know, I don't have an issue with it. I had an issue with it then, but I don't have an issue with it now. So I don't really, you know, and vice versa, you know, and vice versa. It could go either way. Like, you know, sometimes guys don't really want their ladies to take a solo together. But see, for me, like you said, the longevity in the relationship, because I've had some of my friends who aren't married, who are maybe engaged or dating someone seriously, ask, so hey, do you feel like Rod should X, Y, and Z? And like I said, for me, I try to think about what does that do for him, the solo trip. What does it do for his mental or for what he needs at that point in time? So for me, I'm like, no, but I feel like there should be some understanding in what this person wants and needs versus what that person wants and needs. You got to kind of understand where your partner is coming from. There's a lot of why in certain things that your mate wants to do. You just have to want to understand what the why is.
Yeah, I think you talk about being empathetic and understanding their position, regardless of how, you know, regardless of how you, what you think they should do or how they feel. So I have the Baltimore Crew to end the show. Have I had both of y'all at the same time?
You did
No.
one
One
time,
time.
and I think I dropped. I had to leave early. I had to drop
Yeah.
off.
Uh,
Hey,
Hi. How are you?
y'all done?
You're so beautiful.
and we died.
Thank
So
you.
you. Oh, thank
We
you.
did this. Wait a minute. Jazz is beautiful. Okay.
Uh-huh.
I don't call guys beautiful
Why not?
because this wouldn't be the proper thing to say.
I'm,
You're handsome.
I'm beautiful.
You
Hold
you're
on, hold
beautiful
on.
on the inside. There you go. You're right. I take that back. You're very beautiful.
Thank you.
No, not.
I'm gonna agree. I'm gonna agree.
See,
I'm gonna agree.
so before we get into the solo vacation, this is my opportunity to enlighten a little bit, right? if you were to call a guy that you were interested in beautiful, if you just said, you know what, you are so beautiful, that joint would probably hit him in a way that he's never been hit before. Because like you said, right? Hold on, let me finish. And I promise, I'll let you go. I'll let you go. Because what it does is it accesses an aspect of his men and women have both masculine and feminine principles, right? And for to a fault, society is trying to make men more feminine. I disagree with the idea of making men more feminine. I think we need masculine men. But I think in order to be whole and complete, it's important that men understand their feminine aspects, their emotions, and all of that good stuff. So I say that to say, if you were to tell the guy that you were interested in that he was beautiful, you can almost rest assured that no other woman has ever said that to him. He's going to be like, beautiful, what do you mean? And then that's when you say what you said to me. You're a beautiful soul, beautiful spirit. You're a beautiful.
I was gonna say I'm not gonna disagree with you because I have told a guy like I have never said like he's beautiful. I just told him I said your heart is beautiful. That's like the way he moves, the way he operates with his family, his loved ones is just like amazing because I've never witnessed that like in a relationship with a dude. So yeah, I get what you're saying. That's why I said I had to take it back because I thought on that moment and I'm like, you're right. See?
What was that? Martin, stop. Think about it. But anyway, look. But look, whoever watched the replays of this joint on YouTube get a lot of little nuggets. But hey, look, Erica, I gotta stop saying Erica.
Can I correct you real quick?
Am I saying your name wrong?
Jasmine knows me as Erica, but she don't know I have struggled with the school pronouncing my name incorrectly, right? So my name is Arika. Arika. Yes. Thank you. I
apologize.
It's okay because it's been happening all my life, but it's just the now that I'm trying to be firm and adamant because my mom, when I call and talk to her, she always say Arika. And she thought for a long time that I really liked being called Erica. And I said, no, I didn't. I really liked my name because it was unique, but it was always 3 or 4 Ericas in my class. So I would try to correct them and they would still call me Erica. And I still get that still to this day.
Okay, Arika, I am absolutely and unequivocally apologetic for calling you the wrong name every single time you have come on my show.
It's okay.
Okay.
I accept your apology.
Arika, thank you. I appreciate you accepting my apology. That means a lot to me because it was never my intent to hurt feelings or call you out your name. Now, Arika, would you be okay with your significant other going on a solo vacation? He comes home and he says, I'm going here in 2 months and I'm going by myself. What's your response?
I'm going to say okay from where I am right now. But if this was like in my 20s, I'd have a bunch of questions.
Okay, why would you be okay now as opposed to the way it was in your 20s? What makes you okay with it now?
Because I'm okay with me. And when I was younger, I was kind of insecure and I would probably like all the emotions. So why would he want to go by himself? Like, what is he trying to do? All those things that pop up. But now I see that everybody needs a alone time. Everybody needs some getaway time to, clear their thoughts or just to, come back refreshed. I wouldn't have a problem with it. That's Whitney.
So my Baltimore crew is okay with the guy going to, what if it was in Brazil?
Go to Brazil. All the nice looking women are in Brazil, but they ain't me. That's how confident I am.
Oh, let me ask you this, because this is very important. A lot of people get a big portion of their self-confidence and their self-identity from their relationship and their significant other. You agree? Would you agree with that? Not you. I'm saying a lot of people.
Oh, a lot of people get
their self-confidence from what?
A lot of people get
from their significant other.
Get a significant portion. I try not to speak in absolutes, but a lot of people get a significant portion of their self-confidence and their like the way in which they see themselves from a desirable perspective comes from their relationship. Would you agree or disagree?
I would like to disagree with that. No, I'm kind of like torn. Let's say that because it depends on the circumstances and the situation. Like, so I'm gonna put myself out there. It was a time when I lacked confidence because I was overweight and a lot of other reasons, right? And my significant other would always tell me like, "Oh, you're fine, you're beautiful, this, that, and the third," but I didn't feel it. So whether he said it or not, it didn't faze me. I always knew I was pretty, but I did not feel desirable, I should say.
Okay.
Always knew I was a pretty, regardless how big I was always a very beautiful young lady. So he would always say, "Oh, you're pretty. There's nothing wrong with your body. You're fine." And I'd be like, "No, I don't agree with that." And I just didn't feel it. I had to change me and do some inner work, and before I really started feeling like confident and beautiful, like
Okay.
so.
I understand what you're saying. You're looking at it from the opposite perspective to where that person is building you up and you already have this built-in lack of self-confidence, right?
Right.
What I'm saying is if I were to give you the example, if someone were in a relationship and they were to get cheated on, one of the common questions I think they would ask themselves is what's wrong? Why?
You're right about that. I
Right.
can agree then.
And,
Yes,
and
yes,
to
yes.
affect their self-confidence, right? To a degree.
And it do.
Yeah, right.
It plays on your self confidence because I was that person. So that's probably another reason why I didn't believe what he was saying because he was always cheating.
Okay, cool. The point I'm getting to is that you just said, I don't care that you're going to Brazil where there's beautiful women because I'm me, right?
Right.
The point the question that I'm getting to is how did you develop a level of self-confidence to a point where you could have that view of yourself and regardless of what your significant other does, you don't internalize it on yourself?
That came from a lot of self reflecting, a lot of meditating, a lot of effort, affirmations, affirming myself as a woman, and actually living and knowing like the things that I did as a wife, as a mother, and as a person. And that's just what it is. Like, and then on top of that, that same person and people that when you let them go, they always tend to come back and they be like, all right, so I know it wasn't me. It had to been you. So that kind of like put it up there even more. But yeah, they always come back. That's what I tell people. Like, all right, whatever. They always come back.
Do you ever take them back?
My ex-husband, I tried a few times and then I just basically threw it out the window. But that was because it was other strings attached to him, like my kids and trying to really do things the right way. But now, nah. Couldn't pay me $1 million to take the man back.
Okay, cool. So let's summarize. Arika, I got it right that time,
Yes, he did.
has the level of self-confidence she has because she has done the self-work to include affirmations, meditation, and what else did you say?
I
Affirmation,
said I did self-reflections.
self-reflection.
Like a lot of times, let me just go in a little bit. A lot of times the way we view ourselves comes from other people, like you said, because like coming up, I didn't have the best, people behind me, backing me, more so like pouring into me, I should say. Like I was always that little chubby little girl. You go to church, act like, oh my God, she's so cute. This, that, and the third, right? All right. So then as I got older, I always thought, okay, I was the cute chubby kid, but then I also had other people that like basically turn me down in other areas, right? And these are family members, right? So I had to really sit with myself. Everything that someone told me, I had to basically shut it out because that was a reflection of what they saw because they saw that in themselves. And once I got that, I was like, all right, you can't tell me nothing.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. Have you ever written out your processes or anything like that so that the rest of us can use, something? That'd be a good, just something to think about.
I have tried. I mean, I have did it. Actually, I have done it with one of my friends. Remember, I was telling you, I did it with one of my friends, like the things that I did. But you know, it's a process. Everybody don't get it the first time. But yeah, I could definitely do it.
Okay, so let's put a nice bow on this because I got different answers from different people, but Arika is okay because she's self-confident, so she's good. She knows he ain't gonna find nobody better than her. So that's a perspective to have. Dr. J also says that each particular person has different needs, and if that's a need for that particular person, it may be smart to allow that person to do what it is they need to do in order to be at peace and be happy. Right?
Right.
Um, Dr. J, what you got?
Oh, nothing. Oh, and nothing.
You smiled, you know what I'm saying? I saw a smile.
No, I'm a smiler.
Okay. Cool. Cool. I like that. I like that. Miss Yolanda said, I don't think she said that she's self-aware enough to know that she's jealous and insecure, so he can't go nowhere.
Yeah, she was honest.
She was,
Ooh,
hey,
where was
She was
I at?
where were you
honest.
at? We do this every day at 5:30. You should be here
Yeah,
every
she
day.
was honest.
I be trying to. I be just literally walking in the door like 4:30 from work. I gotta get myself together.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean,
She was very self-aware. She was
I
like
mean,
very
that's good that
extremely.
she's aware, but then that lead like I feel like a female that's in a relationship with or a man that's in a relationship and they feel like their significant other can't go off and on a solo date. That's something that they have to work on in the inside of them. Like there's nothing else around it. Now, granted, like even if, say for instance, I might not want to be away from my mate that long. Even if I just go for like a couple of days and say, hey, come meet me down. Because one, I'm a person that believes that men have needs. So I ain't gonna leave my man for weeks at a time unsatisfied. That's how I look at it. But at the same time, if he needs to be if he needs to do that for himself, then you go ahead. That's a
hey,
whole nother topic though.
hey,
I
But
the week before my man go to Brazil, it's gonna be on and
there
pop.
you go. I'm draining. I mean, that's just
Yes.
me.
I came in late. I missed. I
Oh, Jay, you stuck? Is she stuck? Arika,
Yeah, she's
Jay,
stuck.
stuck on yours?
She's stuck. Yeah, she's stuck.
Oh man, I think she's stuck. Come on, hold on. Let me move up. Let me take out and then bring her back in because I gotta get off here. Um, but yeah, so my whole life ideology is like take your power back, and that's why I was interested in what you were saying. It's like because I think all of us go through moments in life where we lose our self-confidence or we don't have it to the degree that we once did.
Well, like,
And that's
right.
why I asked you like that, because I do think there's a bit of insecurity that comes into play in not wanting your spouse to go on a solo vacation and to be
Right.
able to say that, look, like, no, I'm self-empowered enough to just be okay. And I'm actually okay with whatever actions they take because their actions are a reflection of them. They're not a reflection of me.
Exactly.
That's very empowering, and I like that, and I respect that. Let's see if I can get Dr. J back in here because I guess she's gone for right now. But so to continue on, Miss, I think her name was either Tish or Trish. I know her handle was Grown Folks Perspectives. She was saying that in marriage counseling, her and her husband established certain things about how they would move. And she was
Okay.
basically saying that we agreed we move as a unit. So the idea of a solo vacation is not on the table. It's not even something that's up for discussion simply because if you were planning on going somewhere, you already knew that I was coming with you or we weren't going at all. And I
Mm.
think different people have different perspectives and different ways of handling those things. I think it's more important that I think the way you really handle it is to know your partner.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
that's true.
I think if you know your partner, it makes it a little bit easier to traverse any and all of it. Let me see if Dr. J is back in here, because if not, I'm about to slide off.
Okay.
Let's see if Monty P wants to come on right quick before I slide off. But yeah, I do apologize, like I said, because my given name is Marchello.
Okay.
So people have slaughtered my name my whole life. So I've never liked the idea of me messing up somebody's name. So
I get it.
I appreciate
And this it's
I
cool.
tell you that I feel like you should have corrected me the first time I said it wrong. You should have been like, excuse me, sir. I know I'm just meeting you and I'm not trying to disrespect what you're doing here, but that's not my name.
I started to the other day, but I knew that you were very familiar with Jazz, so that's why I was like, okay, she knows me as that because that's what the way the school used to pronounce my name because the way the spelling is, right? But
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I don't have nothing to do. You know, Africans got a billion letters in their name, but it says whatever they say it is, right? So that's how I look at it. Like, this is how my mother, you know, pronounces my name. This is what she calls me. And even still in my family, they still call me Erica. And I'd be like, yo, that's not my name. And I gotta tell them when they introduce me, like, my name is Erika. Well, no, your name can't be Erika. Your name is Erica because your father's name Eric. I said, no, call Sean on the phone right now. And why she say, how you doing, Erika? What are you doing? How you been? Like, my name is Erika. It's not Erica. She tried to be different with all of my siblings' names. Like, my sister's name is Kiana, it's spelled with a Q. And I'm just like, yeah, got a brother named El Shaddai and Estrelita. Like, they write different names, but people will make what they want out of your name.
How do you spell it?
It's my name.
Yeah.
It's spelled just like Erica, though. It's spelled like Erica. That's why I'm like, I don't fault people. Ericka.
Okay.
So I'm like, no, it's just pronounced Erika. I'm like, maybe I should go and change the spelling. Maybe people would get it, but then it still wouldn't be the
You
same.
ain't gotta do it. You ain't gotta do all that. But you know that you're just going to have to deal with correcting people, and that's the way.
Right.
I just stop correcting people. They be like, "Hey, Marcelo," I'm like, "Yo, what's good?"
See?
Because after a while, I'm not correcting all these people.
And this has been going on since I entered school, like literally from kindergarten all the way to high school.
Hold on,
Even at jobs.
I'm about to sign off in a second, but I got one more person I want to bring back in here before we go, because she just said something in the chat, and
Okay.
and Vicky come on here almost every day. Vicky,
Hey, everyone see if it's working now. I'm always in bad reception area.
it's okay.
Go ahead.
It's okay. Vicky, what is your real name?
My first name is Cherie.
Okay.
Okay.
Cheri. But through all my life in school, it has been Cherry, Sherry, everything else but Cherie. And literally,
That's
I had to
crazy.
spell my name out in a way for graduation, and they still butchered my name.
Okay, Sheree, I owe you an apology too, because
No, no, no. Because no, you don't owe me an apology because when I got older, I said I'm gonna go by my middle name. Oh Lord. Okay. Um I
We having
said
technical difficulties with the phone.
technical difficulty. No, because I said when I got older I was gonna go by my middle name anyway, which is Victoria. So yeah, no apologies at all. I just chose to go that route because, I always liked Victoria anyway, but yeah, my first name is Butcher Central. So
Cherie.
yeah.
And that's the crazy part about it. Like I'm working with a lady named Cherie right now, and when she gave me the spelling of her name, um, I knew that it was Cherie. Like when she put it on a piece of paper, she didn't tell me her name. I just was like Cherie. She was like, "Yeah, you got it." I was like, "Yeah, it looked like Cherie, like
She
same
said it
spelling
looks
and
like she.
everything."
Yeah, so
Yeah,
mine's is
that's
spelled
sweet.
exactly how the French people spell it. It means my darling in French. So it's Cheri with the hyphen on top of the I. So yeah.
So it's actually pronounced Cherie.
Yeah,
No
it's
bullshit.
actually no. Yeah,
I'm
it is.
serious.
But
I'm
no,
serious.
you for real.
So I used to work at the grocery store on Andrews Air Force Base. These two old and nice Italian, and then I'm gonna sign off. these two nice older Italian ladies. I have my name is Italian, so when I meet Italian people, they just show me love once they find out my name. And she was the first person that I ever heard say my name in Italian, like with the Italian accents. And she said, "Oh, Marcello."
Oh,
Oh, damn, that's my name. So now for real, you know what I'm saying? I was like, oh man, like that's really how it's supposed to be said, you know, and that was kind of cool. But so now I know that it's not Erica, it's Erika,
Rika.
and it's not Victoria, it's Sherry.
Yeah, and Enrica is so pretty too. By the way, I wanted to say that.
Thank you. Thank you.
So
Yes.
I
um
appreciate it.
I think y'all want to say in closing before I sign off because I'm hot and I'm ready to go.
Nah, I'm good. I'm just learning and listening. I'm definitely gonna have these conversations on my next relationship. I hope it's my last. But yeah, I ain't got nothing to say.
All right.
You know what? I've been told, like, when it comes to relationships, is what when we sit and we think like that it's supposed to be forever, like it's like you don't want it to like go away from you or leave that person. You don't want that person to leave you. So the very thing you don't want, you kind of attracted to you. So don't look at it like that. That's what someone told me, but I don't know how true that is.
So you're talking about manifestation, right? And
Pretty much.
I think the way it works is there is no. It's kind of like the universe doesn't. It never says no. It only gives you what you focus on,
Right.
right? So if you focus on losing something that you would like to keep, it doesn't understand. It doesn't work in a. It doesn't operate in a negative space. It only operates in a positive manifestive, if that's the word, state. So because you're so worried about losing this thing, you lose it because that's what you manifested. Now, if you were
Mm-hmm.
just grateful for this thing, then you would manifest more of that thing because you're manifesting gratitude. So it makes sense. It's just we're all clingers in some way, shape, or fashion, and the things we cling to, instead of clinging to them and appreciate them, sometimes we cling to them and worry about losing them, and,
Right.
and then we manifest that loss because that's what's being repeated over and over
Yeah.
in the receptor. So,
Dang.
but it's all good. We could do that. You want, hey, Erika, you want to do that topic next week? You want to talk about that?
Sure. I gotta set up the alert so I know that you're going live.
All right. Yeah. Click the bell on my profile, and then it'll give you the option of getting a notification.
Okay, that's what I got there.
So, maybe we'll do it on. Is Monday good for you?
Yes, because I'm off.
Okay. So Monday at 5:30, we're gonna discuss some form of manifestation within your relationship. Oh,
So your topics is only geared to relationship.
nah, we can talk about whatever you want. What you want to talk about?
No, I was just asking because you said manifesting geared towards relationships. It could just be manifestation in period.
It could.
Like just in general too. But we can hit the topics
Oh,
of relationship.
yeah, that's Halloween. We can't do Halloween.
Oh, why can't we do Halloween?
Cause I gotta go trick or treating.
Oh shoot. Oh look, my kids are older.
No. Let's do it Wednesday.
That's my late day.
Let's do it Thursday.
I get off at 2. I should be home by 5. All right.
All right, so Thursday, tentatively, we're gonna do manifestation. We'll talk a little bit relationships and we'll talk manifestation in general. But we just need a solid topic to begin with, and then we can go off on whatever tangent that it is
That
we
sound like a plan to me.
that we want to. I appreciate y'all, Sherry.
I appreciate you.
How you say it? Erika,
Yep.
Miss Tish or Miss Trish. I forgot. I think it was Tish. Yolanda, Julie Bean, Dr. J. I think that's everybody that was on today. I appreciate y'all. Be good, be safe, be blessed. Hug your loved ones. Take your power back. Peace.
Peace.